Thanks for joining us for Season 6 of the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy, for that super kind introduction. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. We work at the intersection of hospitality, food service, technology, innovation, and capital. And Jimmy, we got a great show. I got to tell you, we have been crazy traveling lately, Just got back from Bar and Restaurant Expo or show. They changed the name on us. It used to be the, what was it, Jimmy? The bar show?
The nightlife show.
Nightclub.
Yeah.
And they changed the name, but fantastic show. And I got to tell you, we're headed to RLC. It is just nonstop traveling, hanging out with all of our partner companies, hanging out with all our restaurant friends. We are having a blast. Jimmy, but I got to tell you, there's something else that's on my mind. I couldn't sleep last night. And it wasn't the traveling. It wasn't the jet lag. It was something else on my mind. It was this marketplace that we've got, the branded marketplace. All I was thinking about is how many more companies can we get on the marketplace? And I got to tell you, Carolyn on our team is doing an amazing job. Jimmy, we're close to 400 companies now. 400 of the most incredible, most innovative tech companies are on the marketplace, Jimmy. So if you are a hospitality owner or operator and you want to find a solution that is going to help solve problems, reduce cost, increase sales, make your day just that much better, you got to go to the marketplace and find the solution right for you. You go to thebrandedmarketplace.com. Hey, Jimmy, if you want to get on the marketplace, if you have a tech or innovation you want to get on the marketplace, just email me, marketplace@brandedstrategic.com. Jimmy, I'll get you on. And Jimmy, you know how much it costs to get on the marketplace?
This sounds very expensive. How much does it cost to be on it?
You would think, because everyone is like, we're lighting up companies, we're lighting up restaurants. It's $0.
Zero. How do we make any money?
Jimmy, I don't have to tell you. You're the finance guy. You figure that out. You told me volume, and I'm like, all right, Jimmy, you say volume, I'm all right with you. You said when we hit 500 companies, somehow we are going to make some money. So we're very excited about that. But right now, we are having a good time. Check out the marketplace. Jimmy, great show. You take it over.
All right. I don't know if we're going to make any money, but we're getting a lot of goodwill. And basically, if you go right now to any of our restaurants and you try to buy something with goodwill, they'll kick you out. But anyway, all right, We move on. We digress. All right. We are very excited about our show today, the episode today. We have our guest, our friend, our partner, Miss Kimberly Smith, CEO of Copia. This is exciting. Kimberly, we'd like to ask you to take the lead. Please give us a little background on yourself and, of course, the elevator pitch on Copia.
Good morning, gentlemen, or afternoon for you guys. I have 3 hours behind you, so I got to figure out a way to get my energy up.
And get caffeinated.
That is right. I don't think I'll ever match the two of you and your energy, but it is an absolute delight to be here today. Thank you so much.
I must say, I had an espresso this morning. That's dangerous for me. I don't drink coffee, but I knew I had this podcast and I had to be ready.
That's right.
Shatsy's caffeinated.
That's not good.
We'll see how this goes. All right, so let me step up my game real quick. My name is Kimberly Smith. I am the CEO of Copia. Well, first, I also should say, long-time listener, first-time caller. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling in.
I could keep our elevator pitch so easy. We help businesses. Copia helps businesses make it as easy and beneficial as possible to reduce your waste and share your surplus. And there you have it. Food waste now. We're tackling the most difficult one first. But yep, that is where our expertise lay.
Well, I got to tell you, it's incredible. We love what you're doing. It's great for so many reasons. It checks so many boxes, and we're going to get into it. But before we take a deeper dive over here, we'd like to know what makes Kimberly tick and how did she even get involved. So before we talk about Copia, how did you even get to Copia? How did you get involved in food waste? Tell me a little bit about Kimberly.
Sure.
Kimberly, by the way, this is Shatsy's Fraser Crane moment. He's listening.
Yeah. It's $150 an hour. Go.
Well, I've already solved the issue, so I don't need a therapist.
Okay.
Well, you want the unfiltered or the filtered response? I mean,
I say unfiltered. Unfiltered. That is we love going unfiltered. You can drop as many F-bombs as you want.
No, that'd be an FCC violation.
Well, look.
Oh, no.
The reality is, I was at the end of my maternity leave with our youngest child. I was hormonal as shit, and I was looking around the world going, what on God's green earth are we doing?
And how old is this child?
The youngest one is 3.
Great age.
Little
Great
boy.
age. Jimmy's still
Fun
hanging out.
age.
Jimmy's got a
Fun
5-year-old
age.
running around at
I got a
home.
5-year-old.
I know,
Fun
and she's
age.
Fun
darling.
times. Yeah.
So I, in all seriousness, I mean, I've had almost 20 years experience in the ad tech industry. Now I like to, by the way, refer to what we're doing as sustainability tech or sus tech, although it sounds a little suspect. So sustainability tech. But I've had enough time where experience understanding how valuable technology and data plays in solving problems. And so in this moment, as I'm sure most parents have had at some point or another, if not multiple times, thinking about what the next generation is going to look like in the world that we're leaving it. Are we leaving it in debt, environmentally, socially, financially? Not that they're not going to be responsible for, their own futures, but how are we handing it over to them? And looking around and seeing the waste that is happening, the hunger that is happening, hearing the reports about the carbon emissions that are being emitted into the environment from unnecessary waste. When I came across Copia, it was like the culmination of everything that I wanted to do, the impact I wanted to make. And I knew that I could bring my experience in the data and tech world to leading this company and to solving a lot, of problems.
Well, boy, it just really brought me down.
Well, actually,
I made him another espresso.
No. I want to, Shatsy, turn that frown upside down. What I just heard Kimberly say is that while it's nice to be important, Kimberly just showed us it is important to be nice. You could do nice things, you could do good things, and by the way, we're also going to be making a lot of money here. But again, nice things and doing well. I love all that. And before we take a deeper dive into Copia, I'm going to share some sobering facts. Shatsy,
you're gonna bring me down even further.
Yeah, Shatsy, I'm gonna send you a Google link of what the word sobering means. But anyway, sobering facts. Americans waste 3 times more food than there are hungry mouths to feed. Hunger is not a scarcity problem. Hunger is a logistics problem. Every single day, Americans waste enough food to fill a 90,000 seat football stadium to the brim. Hey, all you big blue Michigan fans out there, yes, filling up. That's a lot of people, and that's wasting a lot of food. Meanwhile, 1 in 6 Americans is food insecure, meaning they don't know how and when they'll obtain their next meal. The good news is that Kimberly and the team at Copia are working to lower these numbers. So Kimberly, simply put, how does Copia work? And what are the benefits of using Copia?
I got a question there, Jimmy. 1 in 6. I thought all Americans were overweight, so that's totally not true. So when I see pictures of Disney World and I see all these people that are enormous walking around, that's the other 5.
I'm not prepared to comment on that.
Oh,
I appreciate the visual you just brought me, Disney World and otherwise. By the way,
this big giant drumsticks, that's horrible.
This segment is not sponsored by Disneyland. And by the way, I'll be bringing my daughter to Disneyland hopefully in the near future. Please don't hold that last segment against us. But Kimberly, how does Copia work and what are the benefits of using Copia?
Schatz, you bring up an excellent point about the misconception of what food insecurity really is, and it's probably worth clarifying. So food insecurity doesn't have to do with your belt size. It means that you don't know where your next meal will come from. Imagine that. You don't know where your next meal will come from. It's expected that 50 million Americans will face food insecurity, not knowing where their next meal at some point in 2022.
That's just horrible. That's a horrible thought in this country to think about.
Absolutely. And it's costing us, by the way, $408 billion a year in America alone. 408. And the restaurant and retail industry.
That's with a B, right? That was with a B.
B. And the restaurant and retail side of the business represents 40% of that. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So
dropping knowledge. Dropping knowledge.
It is my expertise. Shatsy, I know this is bringing you down, but I got to tell you what, it's solvable. And that's why we're here.
Well, no, that's what's going to bring me up. What's going to bring me down is these staggering numbers. What's going to bring me up is when we talk about what Copia is doing to help solve these problems and how great a job you're doing it. So that's what's going to bring me up. So can you share? Yeah, go ahead. So tell us how you're doing it.
Okay. Well, then let me tell you how we're doing it. It is incredibly simple. So a business signs up online at www.gocopia.com, pick the right plan that's right for them, and they start tracking their food waste and donating any extra food or ingredients they have that very same day. So we take the hard work out of all of it. Once you've signed up, you have access to a mobile application that is as simple as 3 steps. That's it. It should take no more than 3 minutes of your team's time to be able to track your waste for the day or submit a donation. And if you're trying to donate, you tell us what time it works for your operations to either drop off the donation or have it picked up by a third-party driver. So our matching algorithm tells us exactly where your donation should go to the local nonprofit that's most in need of that food. So we ensure that anytime you want to make a donation, it not only finds a home, but the right one. And then Copia provides you audit-proof donation receipts, tax deduction dashboards, so your accounting team loves you at the end of the year, your program analytics to help inform waste reduction plans, impact reports. Those tell businesses all about the nonprofits they fed, the carbon emissions they reduced by diverting this perfectly edible food from landfill, gallons of water saved. So you get the point. There's a lot of data here, and we're making it as easy and beneficial to reduce and prevent your food waste, as well as donate any surplus that you have.
Boom.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. Talk what other so I'm donating, which is great. So we're not throwing it in the garbage. Yeah. We're donating and getting it to people who need the food. But there's some other really incredible benefits to the company.
Yeah, absolutely. So just by tracking and measuring your waste, you're able to get very actionable data to be able to inform your procurement for your purchasing and for your production. That's going to save you so much money on the front end from a financial standpoint. Of course,
it's going to save you on actually don't buy as much food because you seem to be donating a lot, labor of making all that food, et cetera. So that's great.
Absolutely. And then when you are donating, there's a triple bottom line benefit to your business. So not only are you feeding your neighbors.
Wait, Jimmy, did you hear that, Jimmy? You're a finance guy. There's triple bottom line benefit. Triple bottom line benefit.
Watch this, Shasty. Watch this. I'm taking copious notes.
Aha! I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
I like it. Yep, I like it. So tell me about the triple bottom line benefit.
Sure, absolutely. So feeding your neighbors, that is huge. I mean, at the end of the day, it's so simple to be able to take your surplus and give it to those who can use it and put it to good use. You're also making an environmental impact. So you're reducing your carbon footprint and you're saving water by diverting this food from landfill, perfectly edible food, to these neighbors of yours. And then, Jimmy, you're also going to like this one. You're able to take a massive tax deduction. So right now, under the CARES Act, businesses are able to write off 25% of their total income based on the food that they donate. So it's really quite meaningful. In fact, in 2021, the average location that donated through Copia saw over $17,000 in enhanced tax deductions. And then they were able to reduce their waste on the front end by 30%. So we're talking about substantial numbers that affect your bottom line. And in fact, this should be profitable for your organization. And then other benefits, you're streamlining your operational processes. Should you be a multi-unit operator, you're sharing your positive impact and celebrating it with your customers and employee, which, by the way, as we're also very aware of today, on a side note, there is a huge labor shortage right now, something that we have spoken about ad nauseum. How do we solve this? So you've got to be thinking about this across the board. We want to make it as turnkey, and donating clearly helps morale. So our goal is to make it easy, simple. And one last thing, there's also a lot of local and state legislation being passed requiring your compliance.
I was going to say, I mean, California has all these new rules, right?
Absolutely. So in addition to California, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, and others, I've got them all, passing your donation, that are requiring passing donation regulations. You have organic waste laws that are now requiring businesses to separate out their food from their containers. So imagine now having to open every tomato soup can and discard the soup from the can, or opening up every single Hershey's Kiss wrapper in a bag to separate them out from the wrapping. So while this is a massive win for the environment, our planet, this is going to really affect your labor. So there's a lot of things that your company will have to start thinking and planning for if you're not already.
Listen, for those playing the home game, I personally heard more than 3. We call this the triple bottom line benefit. I think I heard like 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 things, but
Yeah, but
regardless
triple
of the
bottom
count,
line sounds better, Jimmy.
but the triple bottom line sounds better. And by the way, Shatsy, going back to one of your earlier comments, that just got me up. That got me up.
Yeah, no, I'm happy now. I was
I'm
so
happy. I'm
depressed
feeling
before.
really
Now I'm
good. Listen,
happy.
I thank you for sharing all of that. And kind of your story of Copia makes me think of one of my favorite quotes from one of the smartest people I know, and it truly an essential business film. Ferris Bueller from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The question isn't what we're going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do? But in your case, you're living this. You're living this. It's not what you are going to do. It's what you're not going to do. How do you see Copia evolving, and who would benefit the most from working with Copia?
Sure, absolutely. So, I mean, who would benefit the most? The benefits to our services transcend departments, all stakeholders in an organization. Along stakeholders at businesses, it helps with in the government side, the residential side. I mean, it's a win-win across the board. So your operations teams are stoked because you have streamlined processes across your portfolio. Your finance and accounting guys are thrilled because they're not getting handed a shoebox of receipts at the end of the year to figure out how to organize their tax deduction. Your chefs are thrilled because they got into the profession themselves because they want to feed people. And so when there is surplus, they're continuing with that mission. There's your marketing team. They love to celebrate the impact that you're making as an organization. So really, at the end of the day, it's a win across.
I mean, that checks that whole ESG box, right? I mean, that ESG box, a big box today.
Absolutely. CSR reports and sustainabilities are no longer a nice to have. There is a call to action that businesses step up and do their part by their employees and their customers. So reducing your food waste and donating to those in need is really just a simple way to show that you're invested in being good corporate citizens in your community, stewards of our planet, all of the right things.
So, I mean, this is the obvious question. What advice do you have to any business who's hesitant to implement a food donation program or that wants to adopt a food donation technology? I mean, I know the answer, but you tell me, what advice do you have and why wouldn't they?
Yeah, sure. I mean, have you guys ever tried to donate 20 sandwiches before?
I've never had 20 leftover sandwiches in my life.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. As Jimmy would never have that sandwiches left over. But if he did.
Yeah. So the reason I ask is because having food to donate doesn't automatically mean that you get to find a nonprofit who can take it and wants to take it, let alone one who has the resources to come pick up the 20 sandwiches. Maybe, Jimmy, we should be giving them your number to do that. So why a business wouldn't is because even though it's the right thing to do, it's easier to throw it away. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of coordination of a lot of moving parts. And that's what Copia is solving for. And, actually, within our company, we talk about the scenario of someone standing on the corner of the street with an empty soda can in their hand. So imagine them standing there, and in front of them is a trash barrel. And at the end of the block is a recycling bin. The unfortunate truth is that this person will most likely drop it in the waste barrel because it's convenient. So we believe that if we want people to do the right thing, we need to bring the recycling barrel to them. We need to make it as turnkey as possible, as easy as possible for businesses to do the right thing. They have a lot of other priorities right now. So removing the complexity and making it convenient to reduce their waste and donate their food is what we are about.
So Copia makes it really easy. Is that the bottom line? I don't have to think about it because I'm busy running my business. And as much as I want to donate, sometimes it's just not top of mind. Not because I don't want to, not that I don't think it's great. It's too hard. But Copia makes it really easy.
You just nailed it. You should be our spokesperson, Shatsy.
So it's Copia.com.
GoCopia.com.
Sign up. GoCopia.com. Sign up. And that's pretty much, and it's self-explanatory after that.
That's it.
Jimmy, I mean, I got to be honest with Jimmy. Why wouldn't you sign up?
It'd be crazy not to sign up.
You should sign up, Jimmy. I bet you.
I'll sign up.
Yeah, you probably have no excess food. I agree with you, Jimmy. There's nothing left over at your house.
The Frischling household is really not big on leftovers. I got to tell you, we really we were taught at a young age. There's still food on the plate. You can't leave the table. You can't have your pudding.
You eat it.
Can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Yeah. I hear you.
Jimmy's the president of the Clean Plate Club.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't have a dishwasher in the house. He threw that out years ago.
We had a dog. Listen, in the branded weekly newsletters, we always do a round of interesting news. And it seems like every week you and Team Copia are making headlines. And we are thrilled and we are very happy to be a megaphone and share the great press and updates that are going on. You were listed in the New York Times as part of the Project Drawdown. And you recently announced 2 new partnerships with Natera and Intuit. Are there any new partnerships in the pipeline or food waste initiatives you're working on that you can share with us today? Chatsy, get ready. You got a chance.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm leaning in for breaking news.
You got a chance, Chatsy. So you're saying you got a chance.
I'm leaning in. I'm ready.
We're really excited to be part of Drawdown. I'm glad you mentioned that this is an incredible coalition of industry giants that are really taking a stance on climate change. So it's been an incredible group to learn from and contribute to. It's been awesome. They're all personally and professionally invested in creating solutions for carbon reduction, and Natera invested in incredible sustainability leadership.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now.
We're so invigorated by the positive impact our customers are making, and we have new businesses joining us every day. So we're having some great conversation with some big brands, but I'm not going to give you names yet. I can't let it out of the bag, but they sit across the restaurant industry, national retail, national convenience stores, and more. That's all I'm going to say. But they all come to us because they want to do the right thing for the environment and for their business. So there's that triple bottom line benefit again that you guys like.
Wait, did you say national convenience store?
I said national. But
Chats, what time we meeting for dinner tonight?
All right. I'm throwing out.
Meeting what time?
I'm throwing out some names. Let's look at
7-Eleven. What time we meet for dinner?
I'm not telling you a name. I'm not telling you a name. I'm not giving a name.
National convenience stores. I mean, are we talking like 7-Eleven? Are we talking about like Speedway? I mean, I'm trying to get something. I need breaking.
Kimberly does not sink ships, and loose lips sink ships. Kimberly's never sunk a ship. So no.
Walmart? Wawa? Is it Wawa?
By the way, Kimberly, Schatzberg loves
to
talk about Wawa because he just loves saying Wawa.
It's a fun name.
It's a fun name.
Who doesn't like to say Wawa? And by the way, I mean, they got a lot of food. You should be doing business with Wawa. It's $14 billion in food sales.
That's right. Well, speaking about Wawa, we're really excited about our ability to provide businesses like Wawa. I'm having fun saying it too, to provide visibility into traditionally unseen segments in their supply chain between consumers and waste. So we would love to talk to Wawa. We'd love to support them all. If you're listening, call me, but it is not Wawa.
I think you really help some of these companies really kind of get their ESG program in place, because some of these companies want to do it, they don't know how. And also, like we talked about, they are busy doing other things like operating their business. But if they just work with Copia, you can help them keep track of everything, monitor it. And then I think customers feel really good about spending money in businesses that have a good sustainability program in place. That if they have to choose between, one business and another, and this business is promoting how they're donating to food banks and they're reducing their carbon footprint, et cetera, that makes people feel good. They want to do business there. So I think it's amazing. GoCopia.com.
Here we go.
Jimmy, say it with me.
GoCopia.com. How they do, Shats?
Oh, gorgeous.
All right, listen, we launched this podcast because we love bringing on guests and experts like yourself and getting to be the ones asking the questions. But we learned along the way that sometimes our guests have questions for us. So let's kick off Talking Back, where we offer our guests a chance to ask us some questions. Nothing's off the table. Kimberly, the microphone is yours.
Don't say nothing's on the table, because I want to know how much you guys are investing in our Series A.
Boom.
I mean, hey,
let me tell you
how much capacity do you have in that round? Because we're taking it all, baby.
You heard it
Making it
there.
rain, making it rain. Listen, there is no question that we'll invest at least a amount in the
Jimmy,
next
that's
round.
too much. Jimmy, that's too much. I don't think we can go that high.
All right, in that case, we'll go. There we go.
Oh,
We
it's better, Jimmy. That's better. That's very generous. Very
right.
generous.
No, I will say in all seriousness, one of the favorite parts of working with Shatty and the team at Brandon and being an early stage investor is that initial investment and then growing and scaling with these companies. And that includes participating and following on and getting more and more active and involved. So while I was joking around because I can't say anything more than that, I will absolutely say that we are thrilled with what you and the team are doing, and we would be very enthused, but participating and being a meaningful part of your continued growth. So the answer is we will be there as you continue to do all these great things for the industry.
I know you will, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think 100%. It's really just what you guys are doing is just unbelievable. Listen, everybody says hospitality, food service, always very slow to embrace innovation and technology, always behind the curve. But what we found is that actually doing some research, and most of the research is done by me, I have found that we are actually not very far behind the curve. Sometimes we're actually ahead of the curve in the hospitality space. So we came up with which came first. Are you ready to play which came first?
I'm scared.
Okay, well, don't be scared. You and Jimmy are going to play which came first. I will ask you a question of which came first, and you let me know what it is, okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I know Jimmy spent a lot of time at Brant Lake, and he loved making pottery, and it was big in the arts and crafts. He was never out on the field. He was, so which came first, the electric kiln or the electric toaster oven?
Ooh. I'm very,
just remember, Jimmy was at Camp Brant Lake back in, what Jimmy was that, 19 what?
Yeah, it was 1978 that I was
78. He was making pottery in the kiln.
They called me Mr. Arts and Crafts, I tell you, Mr. Arts and Crafts.
Kiln or the electric toaster oven?
Kiln.
The electric kiln. Jimmy, I'm giving you a shot because I know you're Mr. Pottery.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've been getting crushed in this category, so I'm going to say the electric toaster came first.
Jimmy, the electric toaster oven was invented in 1910 by Mr. William Hadaway. A great name. I have one of his toasters at home right now while he was working at Westinghouse. And I think we still have a Westinghouse toaster in our house. The electric kiln was patented in 1931 by Mr. Josiah, I'm probably saying it wrong, Merrill. And thank goodness for him because we love pottery. But let me tell you something, toasting my bagel, I don't know where I'd be without that. So thank goodness for Mr. William Hadaway and the electric toaster oven. Because, I'm putting Elio's pizza in there, or Stouffer's pizza. Who knows? So listen, again, hospitality and food service, way ahead.
Ahead of the curve. Yep, I'm sensing a theme here as it comes to which came first. I'm getting on the bandwagon. I'm getting on the team.
Yeah, you understand we're doing it while we're asking which came first. I think.
I think I'm catching on.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance, Jimmy. 1 in a million.
All right, listen, it's time for our crystal ball moment, a chance for our guests to put on their Kreskin and Miss Cleo hats and predict the future. How do you see restaurants and dining 2 years from now, Kimberly, in relation to hospitality and technology?
Okay. Well, I think, we all know that the food service tech industry has certainly accelerated these last few years because of COVID. There's been a lot of new competitive models that have emerged. There's also a greater need for cost and operational efficiencies. So I think what's happening right now in the food service food service industry, it has happened many times over in other industries, which is it's an influx of fragmented solutions. There's operators that are being overwhelmed with the number of systems they're managing. There's overlaps in some of the benefits. So I think we're going to start seeing a consolidation and an optimization here. I think that, we're going to continue to get new tech, but mostly there's going to be an optimization and consolidation of data. Data.
I love it. And I got to tell you something. I think GoCopia.com. Did anyone know that? GoCopia.com. No, but in all seriousness, I think, Copia has a tremendous data play. We haven't talked a lot about it, but it's a tremendous data play. multi-unit, high volume kind of restaurants, and we talk about stadiums and convenience stores. And you go into a 7-Eleven, a Wawa, these kind of places, even like CVS right down the street from us here on Park Avenue, they've got sandwiches in the refrigerated section. They have salads, and they've got all this stuff. Now they can track their food waste. They can reduce their purchasing or manufacturing to be more in line with how many people are coming in. So there is a tremendous data play in Copia. So I really got to tell you, I love it. GoCopia.com. Okay, Jimmy, we're going to the best segment there is, the branded quickfire. I can't tell you how much mail I have in the office of people are like, Schatz, this branded quickfire, this is really unbelievable. It's just the greatest segment you've ever come up with. And we just, I've told you once, I told you that the people from Survivor contacted me that they want to do like a branded quickfire reality show. I told you that, right?
Yes, they want to create a whole show.
So I said, right now I got to speak to Jimmy. He's my partner. I don't know if I could do that yet. I'm very busy traveling, but I'll get back to you. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions, Kimberly. Don't think too long. Just tell me first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Where are you getting dinner from tonight?
Ooh, it's date night tonight. Maybe just a large popcorn.
Jimmy does Wednesdays. Jimmy does Wednesdays.
You just interrupted our guest. Let her answer the question.
That's right.
All right.
And I appreciate you bringing it up.
Where are you getting dinner from tonight?
Yeah, no, it might just be a large bag of popcorn at a movie theater.
There we go.
Just to get away.
I love it. Favorite food city in the world?
Either. Can I do an either?
Sure.
Either Las Vegas or New Orleans.
Boom.
Oh, well, you got, if it's got New Orleans, come on, hands down. Favorite place to travel?
Hmm.
Don't say Las Vegas or New Orleans.
I'm a foodie. Lake Tahoe, California.
Ah.
Ooh, never been, but seen pictures. Looks lovely.
It is.
If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of Name That Tune, who would you have better odds of beating?
Oh, well, you both always have your headphones on, so I don't know if you're actually talking to people or listening to music.
Wait, what?
But
I didn't hear that.
I don't think I've ever seen your ears, truth be told.
I have music going right now. I'm not even listening to this podcast.
Okay, just because of pure breadth of knowing, today's music, I'm going to go, I have a better odd of beating you, Shatsy, because Jimmy has that beautiful 5-year-old girl that I know he is belting out tunes of Encanto and Frozen. You're going down, Jimmy.
Oh, don't get Jimmy started with Frozen.
Oh.
Let it snow. Oh, good God, yes.
As much as I like Frozen, Encanto is crushing Frozen, and I have to say,
Jimmy, you continue with your record, Jimmy.
Lin-Manuel, and my buddy from Wesley University, he single-handedly saved Hamilton on the $10 bill, and again, I got to tell you, put Wesley on the top 10. I'm a big fan, Lynn, and thank you for Encanto. And yes, Kimberly, my daughter, if you asked her, would say that Daddy can't sing, but he can dance. But I do know music, so I think you chose wisely.
Especially get a couple of Macallan 12s in Jimmy. You should see him. He dances and sings. He becomes a triple threat.
Yes.
But he doesn't talk about Bruno.
No, we cannot talk about Bruno. See, Shatsy doesn't even get that reference.
Yes, exactly.
That's Dancing with the Stars, isn't it?
Exactly.
I know Bruno. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, you don't even know what you're doing, Jimmy.
Kimberly, we want to thank you so much for joining us on the Hangout and for all your great insights. We appreciate your hard work for the hospitality industry, and you really are doing some very important things. And again, a lot of value and appreciation to you and the entire team. If you want to get in touch with Kimberly directly, you can email the Branded team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com, and we'd be happy. Or you can go to gocopia.com.
Gocopia.com, Jimmy. That's easier. Just gocopia.com.
Yeah,
Come on, Jimmy.
I'm not sure GoCopia gets you so fast to Kimberly, but if you go podcast at Branded Strategic, we'll get your message to Kimberly, and we strongly endorse you guys, especially those operators out there, get involved with Copia, and we think you'll be very satisfied that you did. To our listeners, we always want to show appreciation and give thanks as we know that there are literally hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and the fact that you continue to hang out with us and our subscriber
That's a
count.
miracle, right,
Yep.
Jimmy?
I mean, we're in season 6. We've already lined up season 7. This is really going to be something
Over
special.
15,000 subscribers, Jimmy. Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew? You and I had so many family members, Shats. And listen, I want to make sure, please join us next week as we welcome Hugh Jackman. Yes, Hugh Jackman will be on the show.
Wow, that is a big
taking
one.
a break from Broadway and bringing his BFF Bruce Springsteen will be joining us on the podcast.
It's going to be a good show.
That's going to be not as good as having Kimberly, but Hugh and Bruce, we appreciate you.
He's the music man, I think.
He's going to take a break. It's going to be this night off. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any of the exciting guests we have coming up in the future. And better yet, invite a friend to hang out with you the next time. Until then, this is Jimmy Frischling, your finance guy, thanking Kimberly with appreciation and passing it back to my boy Shadsy.
Jimmy, I just came through the wire. I've got breaking news. Log on to gocopia.com right now. That's breaking news. That's the news we got. Gocopia.com. Check it out. Kimberly, thanks for putting up with us.
It's been a real pleasure speaking with you both today. We laughed. Shatsy cried. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Shatsy, a.k.a. Restaurant Guy, signing off the Hospitality Hangout.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.